So, like I was saying, I said it is no longer a news that the Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu has won the just concluded Ondo gubernatorial election,
Mm,
and having been declared as the governor elect of the state, different reactions have trailed the declaration from people. The reactions from people all over the state, and these reactions are not uncorrelated with the fact that there were high level of vote buying during the elections. And you are going with if a particular candidate wins an election, there's expected to be a wide, and huge jubilation all over the state. And but as it is right now, the cities, the streets of Akure is very cold. There's no sign of jubilation anywhere. There's no sign of celebration, and it's just like it just looks like a normal Sunday here. Whereas it's supposed to be a kind of
yeah. Mm,
mood of jubilation all
mm,
over the cities. But I just think this is a pointer to the fact that the election was not the will. The
mm,
outcome of the election was not the will of the
mm.
people.
It's
It, I
not the
don't. It is not.
yes
It is not. It is not accepted by the majority of the people,
majority.
and this brings to bear the fact that people sold out their conscience. People voted against their conscience. People voted because of money. They actually traded their vote for money. So it's just summons to the fact that the election was not rightly and duly won by the supposed winner of the election.
Yes, yes. It was not elected based on a majority votes because many
Yes.
people didn't vote their conscience, and those people don't even care whoever wins the election because they went to the poll because of the 7,000. Whoever wins the election is not their business. You understand that? It's not their business. So, according to what Ezekiel told me this afternoon, that some citizens were raining curses on those who sold their votes yesterday.
That is not far from the truth. That is not far from the truth. I was walking by the road this evening too. Then I heard the motorists, bike men, commuters saying different sort of things. It was obvious that they were not happy with the outcome of the election, and some did vote for their conscience, some did vote for whom they wanted to vote for without being bought over. But
Mm,
then the majority, some people did not reason along with them. Some people did not toe the line of the right path. So they were clamoring for a kind of maybe the declaration of the election as an inconclusive one. But since that one is not possible any longer,
it's not.
I just think I just think the right thing to do now is to sensitize our people to shun vote selling, to do away with selling their vote and the rest, so that we can have a kind of society that we want, a Nigeria that we desire. Because if you continue this way, if you continue in this path, in this unholy and a very undemocratic path, it's just we'll just be heading towards a unknown and you know uncivilized
Yeah,
and
the
destination.
election, the election yesterday was not democratic. It
It
wasn't.
was not democratic,
Mm,
and
it
that is
was
not
not.
there. It was not democratic because democracy is a state whereby the
Mm,
people go to
mm,
the polling unit, go to election and vote for whom they desire. But these people did not vote for whom they desire. They
yes.
rather voted for money. So it was due to money and financial inducement that
Mm,
made them to vote for
yes.
whoever candidate that they voted in. So we just it just proceeds and points to the fact that democracy was not upheld in
Yes.
yesterday
Yesterday.
election.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So they prioritize money over good governance yesterday in Ondo State.
They
I,
prioritize money over good government. I
mm,
actually expected them to repeat or make a kind of replica of what happened in Edo State,
oh, not even
whereby the
close. Not
APC
close. No.
whereby the APC were offering the highest amount of money to electorate, and these people of Edo, the good people of Edo, still stood their ground by voting for whom they wanted, which is Godwin Obaseki of PDP. That is the kind of scenario and situation we expected in Ondo State.
No. No.
But it is so disheartening and saddening that we were not able to achieve that in Ondo State. It is so saddening. So
I don't.
saddening.
I don't think many of them were aware of what happened in Edo State.
I
I
actually
don't.
don't think Edo, I actually don't think Edo people know what happened in Ondo State yesterday. They could have come down on Ondo people and given out some kind of derogatory words that suits them. But the fact remains that Ondo people are different from Edo people. I don't know. They kind
Yeah.
their disposition towards the election yesterday actually shows that they are not ready. They are not ready to be they are not ready to be resolved and determined to uh vote for their right candidate, vote for whom they desire, vote for their preferred candidate without being bought over with money.
Look, honestly, Edo people were not happy. Some of my Edo people called me and said, Ondo people disappointed us. We were expecting them to vote their conscience, defend their vote, but they didn't do that. They failed to do
They
that,
didn't do that.
and
They didn't do that.
they are taking us back to 10, 15 years ago again.
They are taking no, that is it. This is the current dispensation that we are in now.
Hmm.
I don't expect any right thinking member of the society to vote for APC due to what the APC led administration at the federal government level is doing. Look at where Nigeria is today. This is not the Nigeria we desire. This is not the Nigeria we are yearning for. This is not the Nigeria we all want. Look at the prices of everything in Nigeria now today. They are on the high side, ranging from fuel, all goods and services. Their prices are on the high side as I speak with you in Nigeria. So these are good reasons enough for anyone not to vote any APC candidate in all the states of the country.
Federation, yes. Yes, but
By not voting any APC candidate, it is sent signal to the APC-led administration at the national level that the party is rejected already. But if we continue voting them, they will think their policies are very good for the people. They will think the people are happy with the harsh policies they have been making. No, that's it. They will not
so
know. They will not.
so
They will not know.
right now, Akeredolu is jubilating that he won the election. The
Only him
question,
is jubilating. Only him is jubilating
and
because
his wife,
the
and his
people of the
wife.
state are only him, himself, family, and his cronies,
Mm,
allies. They are the ones jubilate. They
mm,
are the ones jubilating. The
his
people, the
children.
people, the people, the people of the state are not jubilating. I said I walked through the streets of Akure this evening, and I could not see any sign of jubilation in the city. This shows that the outcome of the election was not the will of the people. The
Yes,
outcome of the election was not well accepted by the people. If the will of the people has prevailed, I expect everybody to be jubilating. If not
yes.
everybody, 50% of the people should be jubilating. You should not get to a particular street in Akure and see as
And
and not see a sign of jubilation there. We are all Nigerians and we know how we take victory serious here. So just point to the fact that the election was not the outcome of the election was not the will of the people.
oh, this is too sad. It's too sad, my brother. It's too sad. The,
Very
peop-
sad.
the people are not happy. When Obaseki won the election, the next day the whole cities, let's say cities in Edo State were jubilating like festival. It was like they are celebrating festival. You know, festival in Nigeria that people would dress nicely, is dancing in the street. It was like a big festival when Obaseki won those state election. But unlike the one of Ondo State, the citizens are not happy because he was not democratically elected, or the election yesterday was not democratic. That's just the thing. Majority of the people did not vote for Akeredolu just because of the vote buying oppression. For me, I look at it as oppression because these people they subject the citizens to extreme poverty so that they can manipulate them during election period and buy their votes, buy their conscience. Do you think that
Yeah, yes.
where informed citizens will ever vote for the wrong candidate? The answer is no. So those who are poor are more vulnerable to these self-centered politicians during election period. It's so sad. It's so sad. We have been lending our voices here in diaspora to mobilize against this corruption in the system, the Nigerian system. But the politicians, they are suppressing our people, okay, subjecting them to extreme poverty so that they can buy their vote during election period. I guarantee you, if Akeredolu did not perform well in his first tenure, what are you expecting in the second tenure? We have it in the history of Nigeria that majority of the governors will perform better in their first term than the second term because they are on their way out. So if he didn't perform very well in his first term, which means don't be expecting anything good in the second term. You understand that,
Well,
Cornelius?
exactly. Exactly. Like someone said, second time is second rubbish. And second time is also good riddance to bad rubbish.
Mm,
So someone who did not perform uh, at the level of expectation of the people in his first tenure, definitely his second tenure will be very, very, very disastrous. But the people are not wise enough. The people, how I wish they were resolved. They resolved within them to to vote for whom they prefer without being induced by money. But here we are now. It is it is a long time. It's going to be a long time for the 4 years, as small as these years appear. It is a long one because if an administration is not doing well, if an administration is not doing okay, if an administration is not putting smiles on the face of the people, if such administration spends a year in government, it will look like the administration has spent 100 years. But if an administration is performing very well, is performing excellently well, if such administration is spending 8 years, it will look as if such administration has just spent the 1 year, because of the good deeds, because of the dividends of democracy the people are benefiting. There is a particular adage, an African adage that I
mm,
don't know how the Africa I don't know how it is said, but it's it appears like if something is if you are enjoying something,
mm,
you will not even be eager.
mm,
There will not be any kind of eagerness in you for such thing to end abruptly. You
mm.
want such thing to continue.
So,
But in this scenario now, where the first tenor is not good, is not the first tenor
mm,
is not popular with the people. The government has been dishing out policies that are anti people, that are not pro people. The policies that are very inimical to the well-being and welfare of the people. Such government can never be enjoyed by majority of the people of the state, and that is exactly what Akeredolu first tenure represented.
the election was not democratic yesterday. That is why people are not happy. Unlike the Edo election where people were jubilating. both in diaspora and Nigeria, every corner, people were jubilating, organizing rallies. We even organized a rally here in Toronto, Canada, where Obaseki, the day they announced the election on Sunday, the election was on Saturday, while on Sunday the election result was announced. Immediately the result was announced, we took to the streets to rally and we were jubilating, jumping. People were jubilating all over the world. Those citizens all
Exact,
over the world, they were
exact,
jubilating. It shows that the election was democratic. But the one of Akeredolu right now, see citizens. I called Ezekiel this morning. He can't even talk. I said, Ezekiel, what's going on? He said, I'm not happy. He said, I'm not happy. The youths are not happy. The youths are not happy. He came to power and increased tuition for students. He doubled the tuition for students. And he's not willing to reduce it right now. According to what we saw on China's during the debate, he's not ready to reduce the tuition for students. He's not encouraging education. Knowing fully well that civilization starts from education. If you are not encouraging education, what are you doing? A government in 21st century is not encouraging education, and people still voting, and they allow this type of politicians in Nigeria to manipulate them and buy their votes. I will continue to blame those of you guys who are fully aware of the system and the corruption embedded in the system, and you guys failed to give proper awareness to those who are living in the rural areas, those who are not educated. Proper awareness would have shaped the election yesterday. The awareness was not enough. Forget about poverty. Proper awareness, these people would have went to the poll yesterday and vote their conscience with proper awareness. So you guys should be doing something. I don't care whoever wins the election, but democracy must prevail in Nigeria.
all right, thank you very much. Like you said, there was no proper awareness and no enough awareness for the people. I agree with that. I agree with that because even though you see some groups of people or NGOs who are sensitizing and creating awareness for the people not to say their votes, these NGOs will not go to the nooks and crannies of the state.
Everywhere.
They will not
Yeah.
they will not go to the villages and tell these village women, village men that they should not say their vote. No, the reason I'm saying this is due to the fact that in Akure,
Mm.
majority voted for their own conscience. They voted for whom they prefer,
Yes.
and that was why the opposition party won the election in Akure South and Akure North because Akure is majorly one of the metropolis in the Ondo state. So
Yes.
Akure as a state capital, it shows that the people here are already enlightened.
And yes.
So if you are organizing a kind of program like this or an initiative like this, you should target the women and men in the villages of the state, women and men in rural areas of the state and not people in the city. Myself, I live in the city. I'm very enlightened when it comes to my franchise and doing what is right, especially as it borders on electing our leaders. I know. Likewise, Ezekiel knows, and some of my friends here know too. So recently, we took it upon ourselves to make a campaign against electoral violence. Myself and some guys, we went around the state. We toured the whole state. We toured the nooks and crannies of the state. We went to the villages. We went to riverine areas of the state. We canvassed and we campaigned against electoral violence. And trust me, this election has been adjudged as one of the most peaceful
Peaceful.
election in Ondo State so far. It would have been a good thing and a sweet thing had it been vote buying did not have its way
Yeah.
yesterday.
It's gradually. It's gradually. So I know that the violence in Nigerian elections are reducing right now. You
You can
see,
say that
the
again.
one, the
You can
one
say that
in
again.
Ondo State as well. The same thing,
Exactly.
yes, during those state election, people were afraid of the violence. Ooh, we are even referencing past elections in Nigeria, how
That's it.
brutal they were, and the violence, how it talks with storm polling units, shooting sporadically to the air, and stealing ballot boxes, even killing some people, innocent people, voters. So we were afraid, but Edo election was peaceful. And Ondo election, yesterday they were reporting some incidents of violence, killings, but it happens to be fake news, right?
Yes, it was fake.
Yeah.
And on the improved nature of the on the improved nature of peaceful atmosphere during election in Nigeria, we
Mm,
must give the kudos to the security agencies, likewise the traditional rulers. Like the intervention of the Oba of Benin actually saved a lot
mm.
during the Edo
Yes.
election, the Oba of
Yes.
Benin.
Mm,
So it is high time our Oba stood up for something. It is high time they stand up for something. They should not be found in a very compromised manner. They should not be found in a very compromised way. It is high time these people stood up for the truth and tell the candidate, the major candidate, most especially the incumbents,
mm,
because the obas in Yoruba are not are not I don't want to underrate our obas, but they have a lot to do when it comes to intervention and speaking truth to power. When it
yes.
comes to intervention like this, tell these candidates and order them to be peaceful in their dispositions. They should be peaceful in their ways, in whatever
How?
they should conduct themselves in a very peaceful manner. This would go a long way because, as you know, in the south, we respect our traditional rulers a lot, and we believe that as their subjects, we should succumb ourselves to them. So our traditional ruler should always rise to the occasion. When they sense violence in any coming election, they should rise up to the occasion, and take charge. Because without them, it might be very hard. As you know, every community is headed by a traditional ruler.
Yes.
Hardly will you go to a community that is not headed by a traditional ruler. If
Yes.
such community is headed by a king or regent.
Mm,
So whichever way, whoever heads this community,
mm,
the subject will still be loyal and submissive to
mm,
such person. So it is high time these people rose to the occasion too. It is high time they did something tangible, something extraordinary, something unusual from what the traditional rulers have been doing in the past. It is not the time for traditional ruler to start endorsing a
mm,
particular candidate or
mm.
whatsoever. It is time to speak truth to power. It is time
Yeah.
to tell these candidates, whether major or minor, the truth.
Yeah. So according to the Nigerian constitution, if I'm not mistaken, traditional rulers in Nigeria are expected to maintain neutrality in order to get the respect from politicians. Otherwise, it's gonna. You saw what happened in was it not Kano? What happened in Kano? So the
Yes.
Oba of Benin played a major role in shaping Edo State election. The peace accord in the Oba Palace before the election. Oh Lord, it was historical. The Oba called them the two major political parties and tried to settle their case. Not that the Oba was able to settle it totally, but at least they promised the Oba that the election is going to be peaceful, and the election was peaceful. No killings, no. I know that a little bit of vote buying here and there. Some people even try to steal ballot boxes, but at least the violence was minimal. Minimal
Exactly.
because the Oba in those states, we have so much respect for our Oba, so much respect for our Oba, and our Oba also maintained that neutrality throughout. No matter what, he maintained the neutrality, and he is the father, as the father of everyone in Edo State. So he cannot support one and reject the other one. So therefore, he will continue to maintain that neutrality, that he's not partisan. And he did that. The election was peaceful. The result was announced. Majority, you can see the jubilation and the celebration shows that, yeah, majority of Edo people voted their conscience and justice was done. Was done. So the one
Okay.
of Ondo State right now, I can't, I don't live in Ondo State. Those of us in diaspora, we also played a major role in shaping Edo State election. You know that the Edo people, we have big population of Edo people in the diaspora. And we were able, even though we cannot vote from diaspora, but our family members who are holding PVCs in those states, we were able to convince them, influence their PVCs. Someone like me, I will use myself as an example. I was able to call people in my family, telling them who exactly they should vote for. Okay, and they listen to me. They listen to me. But I'm not sure about Ondo. That's what I'm saying. Since yesterday, I've been saying that no, Ondo election is very different. We thought it's going to be the same. It's not the same at all. Different in everything. Everything is different. The candidates, everything is very different because our the governor of Edo State was performing, while the masses stood by him. The masses stood by him. Without the masses, the governor would have been powerless. You know that APC is the ruling party, and they wanted to use the federal might to suppress the governor because the governor decamped to PDP. However, the power of the masses overwhelmed them. They tried their best. They tried to rig the election to compromise security agents. They did a lot. Even a day to the election, they sent police officers, almost 300 police officers, to surround the hotel Wike was lodging. They did all that to try to suppress the PDP and the incumbent governor. But the majority of those citizens stood by the governor. Okay, that's what happened in Edo State. And we cannot use it to compare the one of Ondo State. We were expecting the citizens, okay, to also vote their conscience, but they failed to do that. But I will continue to blame, like what I said earlier, I will keep repeating it that proper awareness was not given to these people. Mm,
The Oba of Benin on
mm,
his intervention in the Edo election
mm,
uh, should be highly commended. Should be highly commended because this is not what is obtainable in the current dispensation we are in now. You spoke about the neutrality of our traditional rulers, but I must say that the traditional rulers we have nowadays are partisan. They are partisan. The traditional rulers have deviated from being neutral to being partisan in some part of Yoruba land. Recently, before the election, some weeks to the election, some traditional rulers came to Akure to endorse Governor Akeredolu for
mm,
second time.
mm.
Such acts was not kingly. Such acts was not kingly, and it does not represent the king way at all. And you also agree with me that there's no sign of neutrality in someone who left his palace and came to meet the governor in his governor's house, in his abode, to endorse such person. The governor is expected to go to the king and seek for endorsement. Is supposed to go to the palace of the palace of these kings to seek endorsement, but rather what we
The
had
king,
in Ondo State
the king
was the king.
went to the governor. Oh Lord.
Yes, they went to governor's office to endorse the governor.
Mm,
They went. They actually they went in large number, not one by one. They
oh,
went together and endorsed the governor. So where is the neutrality we are talking about? Where is the neutrality of our traditional rulers? Oh, speaking about the Ondo people in diaspora, I know of I know of few who tried their best in ensuring that these people did not sell their votes. I know of people of Ondo State who lived abroad who actually sponsored a lot of t-shirts for different candidates.
mm,
They actually did their own best. They tried their best, but it was the all blame should be put on the people who decided to sell their votes. But then we will not stop doing our best to ensure that we sensitize these people enough and create enough awareness that vote buying is inimical to the growth of the country.
Hmm.
Vote buying will never take us to the country, to the level, to
Hmm.
the land, to the promised land that we have been envisaging. Vote buying will continue to do harm to us. Vote buying will never bring developmental projects. Vote buying will make the supposed the winner, the eventual winner of any election to to siphon money, to siphon public fund, because
Yeah.
he has spent a lot. If we are making election as an investment, then the winner of such election should have a profit, right?
Hmm. After the
So
Edo election, after the Edo election, my brother, after the election, we were very happy, hoping that power is gradually shifting to the hands of the masses. Okay, that the democracy that we just experienced in Edo State is like the beginning of democracy in Nigeria, something like that. So we're happy that if Ondo people can do the same thing, which means power is going to be shifting back to the hands of the masses, just like in the Western countries, not knowing that now
exactly.
actually,
Before
actually
Ondo,
power still
before Ondo,
remains in the hands of the politicians in Nigeria. With what just happened yesterday, and power is still in the hands of the politicians.
exactly. Before the election, I was at one of the radio stations in Akure, and I spoke on Edo election, how relative peaceful it was, how the people voted for their will, how they voted for their preferred candidates, how they voted for Governor Godwin Obaseki instead of Eze Inyamu, in spite of the whole endorsement, in spite of harassment from different quarters. I spoke on and I commended the people of Edo State then. I actually said that I expected the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to build on the good record of Edo State. And I also said that the Ondo State people should build on the fantastic disposition of Edo people in our own election here. But reverse was the case. Yesterday, reverse was the case. The Independent National Electoral Commission did their own best. There was no error coming from their own side, no lapses at all from the INEC. But now, but
Why is no
instead we have
lapses? Why no lapses? If they allow their workers, the INEC workers, to be
mhm.
compromised, they compromise them. They allow the workers to be compromised by politicians. What is that? Is that not corruption? And moreover,
um,
this idea of vote buying, they should criminalize it in the country. It is time for
yes,
them to criminalize vote buying in Nigeria. Stricter law, so that politicians should stay away from citizens during election period. And they allowed that
yes,
to happen. Yesterday, I was so surprised that they were practicing vote buying openly. Openly. Security agents were there watching these people buy votes. It was like trading, dollar trading.
hmm,
I don't know how to describe this. They were trading. After voting, you will see the voters will go to the back kiosk to collect their money. They were trading. They should criminalize it immediately. With what happened for Ondo right now, I was waiting for INEC to condemn the act of vote buying, but they didn't do anything. Nothing. Nothing.
I actually spoke that there was no lapses on the side of INEC, because where I was, the vote buying did not take place openly. These people went to the bush where the INEC officials could not have knowledge of, to be distributing money. So I monitor some units in the community that I was in yesterday, and that was why I concluded that the INEC was not to be blamed for the thing. But since you said that you also saw some videos
Oh, I
where
saw that.
money was shared openly now, then I must also condemn that. Then I must condemn it because this we have got to the time where our electoral act should be reformed. We need a reform of electoral act of our electoral system in Nigeria. It should be reformed.
Yeah, it should be reformed. The electoral system should be reformed immediately. Otherwise, we can't be watching these people uh, rigging votes in Nigeria while we are here protesting for democracy every day. It's
And
like
another
we're
thing
wasting
is
our time. They should reform
another
the
thing is
electoral system in Nigeria as a whole. INEC, the system, I know that the template they just introduced right now is better than the previous one. However, this idea of vote buying, we were expecting INEC to condemn it publicly. They didn't do that. They did it. They did it. They pretended
they
as
have
if there's nothing going on, nothing happened yesterday, that the election was free and fair.
exactly
Yeah.
there are many implications of this vote buying. There are a lot of implications
Okay.
that
I can see you.
yes
Cornelius. Yeah. Something
sorry
happened. What happened?
sorry, the light went off.
Okay.
Yes, I said there are many implications of this vote buying that is holding sway in Nigeria. One of it is the fact that it does not portray our country well, Nigeria. It does not portray Nigeria well in the community.
So I think we have to end this show right now. Let me wait if Cornelius will join. Otherwise, I will end the show. Let me wait a little bit. Okay, it's coming back. Okay, here you are. Okay.
All right, yeah, like I said there are many implications of the vote buying that is currently ravaging the country, especially when it is time for election. It is it is very saddening because this vote buying does not portray us well among
At
community
all.
of nations. It does
At
not
all.
portray. It does not give us a good image. It is portraying us negative in the face of the international communities. It is very bad. And another implication of it is the fact that younger generation are growing up to see and inculcate this art too. So I heard some young people who were even underage yesterday.
Mm,
They were not up to 18 years old. So
mm.
they were saying with money now you can win anything. Go and
Yes.
hustle, go and work for money and come back and contest. Even though you don't campaign, just go to the election unit, the election just go to polling unit and start sharing money, start sharing dollar. You win the
Who?
election. So
You
it is
said that?
actually, of course, these are young people. These are young people. These are boys and guys within the ages of 10
Mm,
to 15 or 16.
mm,
So you can see the kind of habit these people are inculcating. It does not even oh, God. I was very sad yesterday to see
mhm,
younger generation saying no, inculcating something bad.
mhm, mm. Like what?
Of course, it will always serve as a reference to them. They will tell you in year 2020, in 2020, election happened in Ondo State, and the highest bidder had the day. The highest
Mm,
bidder won the election. That will be their saying in no distant time. And
exactly.
of course, in the next 10 years, these people will have grown into uh,
What do you
uh,
think? a child that is a child that was raised in a corrupt society. What do you expect of that
Exactly,
child?
exactly.
What do
Thank
you
you very
expect?
much. Thank you very
What do
much.
you expect?
Something they are inculcating the habit, and it is actually doing a lot of havocs. It is wreaking havocs to our electoral system and Nigeria system as a whole. It is very,
You
very,
know,
very bad.
who went to school to practice corruption? Every nook and cranny of Nigeria society, corruption exists. Exists.
Ex-
So
Exactly.
if we have to tackle corruption in Nigeria, we should start from the family to the school system.
You are right.
From
You are right. You are
family
right. Corruption.
to primary school, secondary school, higher institutions, all institutions in Nigeria. This is not a joke. In order to tackle corruption in Nigeria, we should not be blaming only the politicians. Who are the politicians? Are they not the product of Nigeria? Were they born and raised in outside Nigeria, or they
No.
imported corruption to Nigeria? No, they were born and raised in Nigeria. Me and you, all of us, we are all Nigerians. We are all Nigerians.
Exactly.
We were born and raised in Nigeria. We are the
Mm.
product of Nigeria. If we have to reform corruption, we have to start it from our mindset, all of us. All of us. And the way we raise our children in a corrupt, I'm not saying that there's no corruption in other countries in the world, in the West. In the West, they are not perfect here. They are not perfect here. But the corruption that exists in Nigeria is like a disease. It's like a disease that nobody can cure.
Yeah, exactly. It is a
We have to
cankerworm that's
yes,
eating
we
deep
have
in
to
the fabric
minimize
of the.
corruption. Yeah,
Yeah,
deeply rooted in the fabric of the society. So
exactly.
it's becoming a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon, of course.
Yes, it is. That's
Corruption,
become a phenomenon, and of course, you can even declare it as a pandemic.
pandemic, pandemic, national pandemic,
This is
national.
exactly national pandemic.
It's not. Look, we have long way to go.
We have
We
long way
have
to go. I've been saying it. It is a long way to freedom in Nigeria. As far as Nigeria as a society is concerned, we have a very long way to go. Like you said, the corruption is a canker that's eating deep into the fabric of the nation.
yes.
From the followership,
Mm.
family, leadership, we have various problems that are ravaging the country. Various problems. Individuals cannot be trusted with public funds any longer. Corruption, our young boys are into cyber crimes. Our no Can you imagine? Our police is corrupt. Now our people are our people are clamoring for answers due to the bad things, due
Mm.
to the inimical acts these people have taken, these people have done to to the Nigeria society. It is very bad. As a young guy in Nigeria now, it is very hard for you to work and buy yourself a car, and you won't be free to drive such car in the street of Nigeria any longer because you'll be tagged as a cyber crime
Mm.
person. You will be
Mm.
tagged as a Yahoo boy. Different times myself I've been harassed by this called SARS. I've been harassed because I especially in Ibadan, they are so present, they are so everywhere in the Ibadan, they are everywhere. When a young guy is driving along the road now, you'll be stopped. You'll be stopped. It is very hard for you to use flashing things. You can't use flashy things in Nigeria any longer. You don't have the freedom of your own. So corruption is a canker that's eating deep to the fabric of all our system. The
Mm.
healthcare, the parastatal, our
Every
institutions,
institution,
our
every
higher
institution,
institutions, our lecturers, our everybody, everybody. It is
every
we have
institutions, all the institutions in Nigeria.
all
There's no one you can remove. Oh,
yes, our institutions. Different menaces are happening, different crimes, different scandals every day. It is really bad. These things are not portraying us well in the eye of the international communities. It's not
beside our
portraying us well.
international community,
Yes,
um, Cornelius, beside
yes,
the international community, the corruption practice in Nigeria. That's why our country is not developing. In 21st century, we don't have steady electricity in Nigeria. Yesterday, Ezekiel was telling me that a particular region of the state had no
That
light
is
for the
very
past
true.
10
That
years.
that's very
If
true.
that,
That is
go
it
to
is not
Ghana,
it
go
is
to
not the
Ghana.
uh,
Ghana, electricity is not their problem in 21st century in Ghana. But Nigeria, I don't want to even go there.
you
It's
can say
so
that again.
annoying.
You can say
So
that again. In Ondo State, a particular region, the southern part of Ondo State has
mm,
not and has not been given light for the past 10 years now.
okay.
For the past 10 years, imagine a child that was born 8 to 7 years ago don't know what electricity means in the
Miss.
south. In the south, and this is the place where the natural resources are
Mm,
exploited. The crude oil, the larger local government and SLDO. The two local governments are where crude oil are explored in Ondo State. But go and look at these places, very underdeveloped, very underdeveloped. There is no tangible developmental project constructed there. The people continue to wallow in abject poverty. They continue to wallow in their faith. They continue
extreme poverty.
extreme
Extreme.
poverty. Extreme poverty. They are living there. These are people whose waters have been polluted by crude oil. The government,
Oh,
the government could have done something. The government could have, found alternative to drinkable water for them. But many of them do not even have access to potable water. So what do we say of good road? What do we say of
so
lack of electricity?
they
What do we
get water
say?
from what they call it again? Borehole.
What do you
Borehole,
say?
right? How do they get
From
water? The people from that region.
Yes, they don't have water. Their water are polluted. The water in all the waters in the region, the rivers are polluted by crude oil, and the
So they
government
get
left.
water through what?
The
Through
government
borehole.
have decided to leave them to their plight.
It's so sad. It's so sad. It's so
Of
sad.
course, you could remember I was in the community I was in yesterday. I could not get my phone charged. When we were doing live coverage, I could not get my phone charged anywhere. There was
So
no electricity.
how are they getting water in that region right now? Is it through borehole? You know this borehole system.
If
You know
you
the
are
borehole
so the way to do among them, the rich people among them
system.
dug borehole for themselves, and why the poor ones who have no option than to be drinking the
Polluted.
contaminated waters,
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
waters that have
Oh
been contaminated by crude oil and different things. They have no
Lord.
choice. They have no choice. Can you imagine the situation these people are in right now? Can you imagine? It is very very bad. These are we said we want to eliminate malaria. We said we want to eliminate polio. We said we want to eliminate different diseases. But then we are not giving these people basic provisions that they need. They don't ask for much. They are not asking the government could do everyone on earth for them. They just need basic amenities, access road, accessible road, good and motorable road, drinkable water supply, water,
Mm,
electricity.
mm, mm.
These are the things these people
Basic,
are demanding and yearning for. They
basic
have not asked
necessity of
they have
life.
not asked the
Basic.
government to start putting their daily bread on their table. They have not asked the government to start giving them money. They just ask for basic amenities, and I think they deserve this because the money the government is getting from that region is enough. It's enough to do whatever these people conceive that should be done for them. Niger Delta, whenever I travel to Niger Delta region now, most especially the rural areas, I always feel bad. I feel sad because they are the ones. The Niger Delta region is the one feeding the country as it is today. They are the one they are they can be described as the life wire of Nigeria, because all our hope, all our life is put on crude oil in Nigeria. But then this money that is getting, the money, the income, the everything that is getting from this region is not used. Part of, I mean, 10% of this money is not used to develop the region. Where is this principle of give back to the people? Where is the principle of dividends of democracy? Where is the principle of good governance? It is very, very saddening. Very, very saddening.
Ah, Ezekiel. I say Ezekiel, Cornelius, this is too sad. Whew. So people are drinking contaminated water in 21st
Contaminated
century.
water, contaminated water. You just have to give thanks to some interventionary group, some non-governmental organizations such as Rotary, Rotary Club and the rest. They are some of these groups have taken it upon themselves to do some
Yeah.
developmental projects, basic
Mm.
to provide basic amenities for these people. These are the responsibilities of the government, but since the government has failed them, they refuse to fail the people. Some of these groups have risen to the occasion several times to to provide basic amenities for these people, to provide
And
basic
then
amenities.
because of the poverty that is prevalent in that type of a region, these people might not be aware of the health implication
Yeah,
associated with drinking contaminated water.
there's
They might,
there's nothing. They can never be aware. There's nothing you can say to an hungry man. If a man
mm,
is hungry and
mm,
you see him holding a bread, the
mm,
bread you have told the man that the bread you are holding is contaminated already. Do you think
mm,
such man will listen to you?
yeah,
He will not listen to you because he is hungry. If you want to tell him that the bread is contaminated and you don't want him to eat
mm,
the bread, you have to provide another bread that
yeah.
is not contaminated for him. If
Then
you
if you
if you
cannot provide, so
if you
he
if
has
you
to eat
cannot
it.
if you cannot provide another bread that is not contaminated for him to eat,
Mm,
he has no choice now to eat that one because he will not want to die of hunger.
mm,
So
Cornelius.
it is pitiable. It is very pitiable and saddening at the same time.
Hmm. Thank you for this awareness you just gave us today, Cornelius.
You are
Honestly,
welcome.
I never knew that this type of situation, people are being affected like this in Ondo State, especially this issue of contaminated water. Is a serious problem. Hmm? And tomorrow, if anything happen to these people, they will say, "Oh, hey, it's witchcraft," because there's so much belief on this
Of
witchcraft
course,
kind of a thing, not knowing that
exactly.
the government is killing our people, killing our people
You can say that
silent,
again.
silently, silently. We don't know that.
Silently, silently. Even people who are taking the necessary precautionary measures as regard drinkable and healthy water are still being affected by one disease or the other. Let alone someone who is not even,
The,
bothered about the the state of any water before drinking it. It is. I just pray God helps us, and we also help ourselves in this kind of situation.
there's one lady I invited to Benin from Plateau State the other time. When she
Okay.
came, I interviewed her. She was shot by a Fulani herdsman.
Oh,
Miraculously, she survived the shooting. She was shot in her chest. So she survived the shooting. She was so lucky. I invited her to Benin to visit me. Was it not in 2018 when I visited Nigeria?
oh,
Oh my God, when she was telling me what is going on in Plateau State, I was so surprised. I said, really? In 21st century?
that is
Really?
this. That
Fulani
is it.
herdsmen killing people, ravaging the state,
That
not
is the
only
plight.
the state, the northern region of Nigeria. These
That is the
people
plight
are
of people are in. That is the plight the people are in. It is their plight, and many have chosen to carry their cross. They are in Nigeria already, and they have to face the challenges that come with the country.